everybody, for Friday, September the 15th, 2017, and this is the Body Count Report for Antisocial News, where I'm going to take you around the world and show you situations where people are either fighting for their lives or losing them. These are real-world news stories where people have their life on the line, which I believe is basically the only kind of news that's legitimate. Let's go ahead and take a look at England, where the terror threat level has gone up because of not just the threats, but an actual attempt at large casualty terrorist attack on the tube this morning. The UK terror threat has been increased to its highest level as police continue the hunt for the person behind the tube bombing in southwest London. So, take a look at the story. Keep checking in on it for updates. There is video and lots of details. Also, some instructions for citizens. And about what does the terror threat level mean. Check the link in the description of this video. Story from BBC News. Moving on, we are going to head to France. In France, there has been 2 non-lethal attacks. The first of which was 2 women injured by a hammer-wielding attacker yelling Allahu Akbar. This story is from ynetnews.com. So thank you, Ynet News, for this frightening story. And we see the security forces in France. We thank them for their service and compliment them on their style. Beautiful. And we hope that the women recover successfully in good speed. I'm sure that's an incredibly traumatic situation. Just having hate thrown at you is terrible, but getting attacked with a hammer is worse. I'm glad they survived. That is definitely an attempt to kill. Knife-wielding man attacks soldier in Paris. Paris, a knife-wielding man attacked a soldier on patrol as part of an anti-terror operation in Paris on Friday, but did not cause any injuries, police said. So, this is reporting by Times of India, and this guy, I love this part of the story. He attacked the soldier, making reference to Allah, police source said. I wonder what that reference was. I wonder if he is complimenting Allah. Okay. Moving on, we are heading to Nigeria, where I've been following this story for a while now, where we have the developing situation of the Nigerian military. Now, this is the Premium Times, which I've noticed will sometimes just update on the same page. So occasionally hit that refresh button on a story to see if there's been an update posted. Nigerian military declares IPOB terrorist organization. Very, very interesting situation here, where we have this group, which is an indigenous peoples group that is being pressured by the Nigerian government, and the Nigerian government has, and of course they are rallying support from around the world, and the Nigerian government has responded by declaring them a terrorist organization. So this is a very very scary situation for the people involved, because a lot of these people are just neighbors and friends and family. They just want to live in peace in their land, and this is a shock to some of them to be considered this, but this is public awareness on the state of independent people of Biafra. The Independent People of Biafra, or IPOB, group which has posed to be a security challenge in the country, has been metamorphosing from one stage to the other. After due professional analysis and recent developments, it has become expedient to notify the general public that the claim by IPOB actors that the organization is non-violent is not true. Hence, the need to bring to public awareness the true and current state of IPOB. In this regard, some of their actions, clandestinely and actively, that has been terrorizing the general public among others include the formation of a Biafra secret service, B, claimed formation of Biafra National Guard, C, unauthorized blocking of public access roads, D, extortion of money from innocent civilians at illegal roadblocks, E, militant possession and use of weapons, stones, Molotov cocktails, machetes, and broken bottles, among others, on a military patrol on September the 10th, 2017. F, physical confrontation of troops by Nnamdi Kanu and other IPOB actors at a checkpoint on 11 September 2017, and also attempts to snatch their rifles. Wow, he was reaching for my gun defense for an entire people. Wow. G, attack by IPOB members on a military checkpoint on 12 September 2017 at Isialangwa, where one IPOB actor attempted to snatch a female soldier's rifle. 3, from the foregoing, the Armed Forces of Nigeria wishes to confirm to the general public that IPOB, from all intent, plan, and purpose, as analyzed, is a military terrorist organization. Therefore, parents and particularly unsuspecting residents of the Southeast and other Nigerians should advise, I'm guessing, their wards to desist from joining the group. 4, the Defense Headquarters restate its commitment to handling the security challenges in the country and further assures all Nigerians of the protection of lives and property. Well, pretty well stated thing there, but the response is mixed. The Nigerian military has declared pro-Biafra separatist group IPOB a terrorist organization. The military made the statement on Friday by the Director of Defense Information, John Inenche. Clashes between soldiers on military Operation IPOB members in Abia State have left several people wounded. Although there have been reports of deaths, particularly of IPOB members, none has been confirmed. None have been confirmed. I'll translate to American dialect. IPOB and its leaders, Nnamdi Kanu, are campaigning for an independent country of Biafra, made up of ethnic Igbos. Although they had said their campaign was nonviolent, Mr. Kanu said this week that stance would be renewed, accusing the military of attacking unarmed members of his organization. Premium Times also reported how the police in Abia State blamed IPOB for the burning of a police station in Aba, where a dusk to dawn curfew has been since imposed. In his statement, Mr. Inenche, a major general, listed 5 reasons the military considered for labeling IPOB a terrorist group. These include the formation of Biafra Secret Service and others, as we have previously listed. Check the link in the below, in the description of this, and also another story, and this has been updated. We'll go ahead and just refresh to make sure it's fully updated here. Updated Southeast governors proscribe IPOB, which means they are issuing the destruction of IPOB. They want it to not be a thing. They are condemning it. And they asked Bahari to withdraw soldiers from the region. So, check this story out. This is governors of the southeastern Nigerian states are condemning the group IPOB, but they also appealed to President Muhammad Buhari to withdraw soldiers from the zone while the police carry out their constitutional duty of securing lives and property. Okay, so interesting situation. I'm going to be following this story, and I do have a friend over there who has contributed some writing, and is going to also try to send us some interesting video and pictures of this ever developing story. But there is one story out of Nigeria that I bumped into while searching that kind of dwarfed all this. I don't know if you've been doing as I do, the sort of tally, the body count of this situation, but there's been 3 people killed, several people injured in the recent scuffle between the Nigerian government and the Biafra. But there was one story today in Nigeria that had a body count 10 times that and one situation. It sort of puts everything in perspective, and it makes you think what is really, really important in this world, and how delicate things really are, and maybe how little our political differences matter when accidents can kill 30 people. 30 killed in accident on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. So, this story really puts everything in shocking perspective, and kind of reminds us that as much as our petty political differences can aggravate us or lead us to violence, we all could die in a second on the roadway or in a seemingly spontaneous accident. So we are going to move to another part of the world that I've been focusing on. Mindanao, Marawi, where the military is still trying to fully secure Marawi, which was taken over by ISIS, specifically the ISIS allegiant group Maute in the Philippines. Now the troops advance into ISIS-held areas in Marawi City. Zambanong City security forces fighting local Islamic State militants in war-ravaged Marawi City continue to advance to the main battle area, and troops go on house-to-house searches, scouring for booby traps and improvised explosives that have already killed scores of soldiers. Security officials said militants have planted explosive in houses and buildings and structures they occupied, making it extremely difficult for troops to accomplish their mission: to kill the enemy, rescue civilian hostages, and liberate Marawi, the capital of Lanao de Sur. Troops have occupied dozens of buildings and mosques previously under the control of Islamic State fighters, who dug up tunnels and rat holes and that served as their escape routes and protection from military airstrikes. The military claimed it has killed at least 650 bandits since May, but it did not give evidence to back up its claims, except the figures were all based on raw intelligence reports and unnamed civilians and other sources. But the fighting had so far killed over 100 soldiers and left more than or nearly 2,000 troops wounded. President Rodrigo Duterte has been frequently visiting troops on the front line and inspected mosques damaged or destroyed by the fighting, pinned medals to wounded soldiers, and visited the funeral of fallen soldiers. Australia, worried over the fighting in Marawi, has pledged to send soldiers to help train local forces battling militants, and this is on top of spy planes it deployed in the troubled region. Japan also sent food aid to war refugees. The United States also deployed the Grey Eagle unmanned aircraft system to Mindanao for additional surveillance in support of the armed forces of the Philippines. counterterrorism efforts. Compared to the current surveillance platforms used in the region, the Gray Eagle has a longer flight duration, which allows it to cover a large area of reconnaissance and surveillance. Over the past 3 years, the U.S. has provided the Philippines with assistance valued at over 15 billion Philippine pesos. That's, I believe, just under $300,000, or that can't be right. Maybe 300 million. I'll have to do the math on that again. I apologize. To establish better command, control, communications, computer intelligence surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities for the AFP. Recent deliveries include a Raven tactical UAS and 2 Cessna 28B surveillance aircraft, as well as various munitions and weapons to support urgent defense and counterterrorism needs. This is an incredible story. This is ISIS being defeated by an ally. This is Muslim people being rescued from extremist groups. And one of the reasons why this situation, as I love to cover this situation, because what we see in the Philippines is the federal forces working with local Muslim forces to fight the extremist terrorist groups. So check out this story and try to find some of the other incredible stories in the Manila Times Regions section. I've been really blown away by the cooperation between MILF, the MILF task force vows to crush terrorist faction. It's pretty incredible to see the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, which used to be looked at as 100% a terrorist group, but now they are essentially a governing agency that is helping identify radical elements and route them out, because they realize they bring in the wrong kind of attention to the Muslim community, both in their part of the Philippines and throughout the country. So I feel like this level of transparency and openness is what keeps this situation from being like what we see in Myanmar, we're seeing these situations of where people are basically left confused by the amount of conflict going on. We don't really know. Yeah, just under $300 million. Sorry, I misspoke and said 1,000. We need to always try to keep things in perspective and root for transparency in all these situations instead of just propaganda and emotion, because that'll get you killed, really, especially for these people here. And just wanted to clarify that issue that I had earlier. 15 billion pesos is a number just under $300 million. So the U.S. is helping out with this fight. As I have said over and over and over again, Philippine news is world news, because the Philippines is a massively populated country with interaction with all the surrounding countries and the world. So our hearts are with them. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Check the link list on this video, and there's going to be a Lighten Up link at the end. It might be a funny one for me. It might be something with animals, but there's going to be a Lighten Up link on this video in the description. So check that and have a great weekend. like, comment, subscribe. If I enlightened you on any sort of news story that you did not know about, I think I earned your subscription. Also, I'm going to be covering the crazy protests in Washington, D.C. this weekend, so subscribe for that, too. Going to be a lot of live stuff, so like us on Facebook as well. And this is Sully for antisocialnews.com. I hope you've enjoyed learning with me today. It's been pretty crazy. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.